Alright, more news, more stuff about Elder Scrolls Legends. The excitement continues. And we have to review like 20 more cards, maybe even more. We have some gameplay footage. We can just generally summarize how Hearthstone Arena is gonna work. I mean, it's just clearly. But we have lanes that do certain effects, and these are very interesting because not only they split the gameplay a little bit, and they kind of split mechanics as well, because most mechanics rely on certain lanes. But even then you have certain effects. Sometimes you get cover, sometimes you might get minions spawning out of you once the creature dies in that lane. I'm not exactly sure what these effects are. I saw some cover over this side in the footage. Now, what cover does is not allows your creature to be attacked while that creature cannot attack himself at the first turn. So it basically protects that creature until it's able to attack. The support card that the second player gets, and that's what second player gets, basically it's a triple coin. Every single turn you can activate it and get 1 extra mana. So it's 3 coins. It's really powerful, but you have to keep in mind that in Hearthstone Arena, being second is actually really not beneficial. And this is going to balance that imbalance. Although you're not drawing a card, you're getting ability to take over the 3 turns. The first 3 turns of the game you can take them over from your opponent and be able to lead the game forward from that point. So yeah, it's actually pretty balanced. I first thought that it was overpowered just to get 3 coins, but it's not like you can play. It's not like you can play them all at once. So you cannot just coin out a big minion, but you can coin out a bigger minion and lead first 3 turns. You can maybe keep those minions, you can start winning, you can do a lot of good stuff with that. So yeah, it definitely balance 2 players a lot better than what we have in Hearthstone, I would say. We have 20 more cards, and we have a description of what Prophecy is, right? So when Rune gets destroyed, if you draw Prophecy, you are drawing a card, so you're going to keep that card. And I think Runes are really powerful because of that. Even though they don't give you tempo, they give you ability to take back tempo, because you're going to be able to draw a big creature, you're going to play that big creature, you're going to challenge your opponent's board. And basically, like in Hearthstone Arena, because card draw is kind of limited, it is powerful. You don't really want to focus on that, you want to tempo the game, but you also must always efficiently use mana. And because the games are going to be long, of back and forth trading, first thing comes to mind, how are you going to get rewarded for the games that you play? Because games are going to be really long. If they don't reward you for just winning the game, but for playing a long time and doing a lot of actions, maybe that will be a lot better than Hearthstone, that you get 10 coins for winning 3 games aggressively and quickly, and bam, you're grinding Hearthstone. So this is the main problem that I'm looking forward to. If they're gonna fix the grinding here and encourage long time play, then yeah, it's gonna be fun games, especially because it's Hearthstone Arena. Okay, so yeah, the main drawing mechanic is gonna be runes, and if you so happen to have some prophecy cards, those are gonna be really powerful. They are powerful if they kind of look balanced, right? If they're playable and you draw them sometimes without rune activation, you have to play them out of a little bit higher mana cost than other cards, because Prophecy keyword seems to be like rated 2 mana cost, although I wouldn't play this card. It's a 2-drop, which has Prophecy. I don't think it's playable. I don't think this guy is playable either. And yeah, let's review more of those cards. So this is relevant, but at the start you will be playing with these cards. Definitely, you'll be playing with these upgradable cards. So green arrows means that you can upgrade the card. Now this is pretty good, but you still have to figure out what the keyword is. It gives a random keyword for whenever you activate this stone. We have charge, we have guard, we have some drain and ward, and lethal is probably one of the most valuable, but I would say regenerate is really good on big minions, because at the end of each turn they're gonna regenerate after killing a creature. That is really powerful to have it at the end of your turn. This guy is a direct counter to all the supports because it destroys the support card. Also, it can destroy this coin or potion card. I don't know how it's gonna be called in the future, but I'll just keep on calling them coins. So you can deny some coins for your opponent at the very least. Maybe at turn 4 they're not going to be able to spend all the coins efficiently, so maybe you're going to be able to destroy 1 coin and still going to be a playable monster. Otherwise, a lot of players are going to be playing ongoing supports, so this guy is going to be played as a counter to that, because it's really hard to deal with, constant buffing of creatures, especially in arena type of gameplay. If you just buff it, it just becomes harder to remove, and your opponent keeps on getting value. You don't want to have that, so this is definitely a good utility card. Now this card is kind of balanced, I guess. It gives enemy creatures guard on the lane. The thing is, it's sometimes positive, sometimes really bad effect. That's why it has a little bit better stats for a 5-drop. Now, giving guard to enemy creatures sometimes is good because you can push out some creatures. Meaning, whatever is guarded by your opponent, you can push them out by giving them guard and be able to attack them first. And it's a viable gameplay way to play the game, because you can guard a very important creature and then you can get a lot of value from that creature over time. But this card can actually deny that, so I think it's actually a utility card. Giving your opponent taunt or guard, as it says, it's sometimes actually beneficial. So yeah, it's not a bad card. It's not broken though. Draw 2 random Dwemer once it's upgraded from this guy. Card draw is okay. It's beneficial. It depends if you want to fish for Dwemer cards. If that's the case, and in arena type of gameplay you just want a lot of cards so you could just fill in your mana curve over and over again, and because there is 12 mana, the card draw mechanic, it's so important just to have all those cards. Just like back in Minecraft, you see discover mechanics that give you shitty creature but you draw cards. So this might actually be a good card. At first I thought, drawing cards, 2 Dwemers, whatever. you just might want to fish a few shitty ones from your deck. But now it just seems like, wow, it's gonna be played often. Or just makes a viable deck out of Dwemer's. This card is really good. I would say it's broken, but it requires a very important condition of guarding a creature that is equipped with this weapon. So it deals 1 damage to every single creature on a lane, and it gives 3 attack. So over 2 attacks, you can basically clear the board twice. You can attack face and still get the effect going on. Very weak creatures that requires pinging, you're gonna get value from that, and that is generally how your opponent is gonna try to get value over leaving high attack and low health minions. If you're able to clear that, again, every single board clear is ridiculously valuable. It has at least 2 mana cost for this effect. If you're able to pull it off twice, this basically satisfies its cost. I'm not sure how this card is good though. The buffs, right? The buffs, you probably want to have a few in your deck just to be able to push back on the board with smaller minions that are not able to trade very well, but you're able to buff them and then trade. So yeah, it's looking very interesting right now. At first I was looking at these cards. The prophecy ones are not that great, but the rest is awesome. So the Cliff Racer with 4/4 body and charge. It's a good card. It's not broken. It's very useful in order to trade with a smaller minion. You quickly leave this like a 4/2 or 4/1 most of the times. You have to look at it as a 4 damage spell that might summon a minion. That's pretty good. The giant snake shackles enemy creatures. It's a cool utility. It's like a Frost Nova from Hearthstone, costing 3 mana there, and being pretty valuable, I guess. So it's a decent card. If you can shackle some big creatures and deny their attacks, that's when it really shines. Otherwise, it's okay, because you're able to kind of set up a turn where you're able to favorably trade yourself instead of letting your opponent to do that. That is useful. Now, destroying a wounded enemy creatures is broken. You can easily set up a creature that can be destroyed, although you have to play this card, so it might lose value because you have to play it for tempo. I don't know. I'm still thinking it's broken because of all the tempo it can generate and how easy it is to pull off a good effect. Now this guy's effect, I'm not sure how easy it is to pull off that one, but because of the good stats and last gasp monsters being so hard or unwilling to be killed to trigger the effect, you might have a few, but you have to build the deck around this card, so it's just kind of balanced. Now this card is now a lot better than I thought it was. It gives a card once you destroy a creature with this card. So yeah, it's a really good card draw. It's a really good card draw. It's with decent stats, so expect this card to be played a lot. Probably broken. And this guy has a Wind Fury, has decent amount of health, decent stats, and a Wind Fury. With a decent buff, you probably can break the game. I'm not gonna talk about this card yet. We have this guy. That's it. we have this guy which can win you the game if it stays one turn, and it cannot be removed at the next turn as well. Because of the cover lanes, sometimes you can just basically win the game by playing this card, because it's gonna get covered and you might be able to attack face. Yeah, then you win the game, because it becomes 8-8 and it keeps on growing. Keeps on growing. We can ignore this card. It's a shitty prophecy. It costs 3 mana originally for the effect, and prophecy effect 3 more mana? No, I wouldn't play this card. Even though, you know, it's really valuable to have 3 damage, no. I'd rather play this guy and win the game. Yeah. Why did I skip this guy? Zoom in a little bit. Just a little bit. Read it for yourself. It is absolutely ridiculous. This condition, when you have more health than your opponent, is easy to pull off, so you can almost ignore that. Because all you have to do is, at your turn, you have to put as much attack your hero, your opponent's hero, basically. So that's all you need to do. Just attack your opponent's hero at your turn. You get the effect going on, and what do you get? Oh, you can summon a 6-drop, or a 7-drop at turn 6, or just basically, you know, you can summon crazy big ass dude, and if you do it on curve, you win the game. Let's say you summon this guy, and they cannot deal with it, and you win the game. Fun. Definitely broken. Definitely more broken than any other card I have ever seen. It reduces cost by 6 of the next card you play this turn. Whew. Well, expect this guy to get nerfed. Now we can go to the actual gameplay and enjoy how noobs play the game.
About the game mechanics as we go into a match, right?
Yeah, sir. So as you can see, you know, we're starting off a match in our game. Magico is what you use to.
So that's a new card. You get 1 health for summoning another creature. It's a good 2-drop stats, so I'll pass.
To cast your cards, and one of the cool things about our game is that it's split into 2 lanes. So rather than every card going onto a battlefield that every other card can.
Prophecy and Guard, 1/4. Not a bad card. Really not bad.
Interact with. You make a choice about which lane that you want to play.
It directly counters a 4/1
card into, and the reason for that is
you have to keep in mind that you have to investigate how an opponent plays, because what you have there is a computer generated one. So yeah, AI is gonna work.
There's a lot of games where somebody plays out one crazy good card and you really can't play anything out because that card's just gonna kill it. Well, now if they play that crazy
there's gonna be a lot of reading.
A good card, it may be in the lane that's on the right, you can start to play all your cards on the left and avoid it, or you know, wait till you have some way of dealing with it. So it avoids this phenomenon of one card hits the battlefield and just completely dominates the game, where you can't deal with it. The lane mechanic kind of allows you to.
Alright, we see a wolf, 3 mana cost, spreading over 2 lanes. Not a bad card, but not
to move around that, and then there's
very
also
well
the ability to have conditions for each lane. So what you're seeing here.
Alright, I think we reviewed this card, but in this play, it will not have a lot of value.
In this match is the standard lane conditions, which is the left one does.
And then you see the Smorking. 3 damage to the face. It's not gonna go to the face
lane. The right lane is what's called a shadow lane, which means any card.
Well played.
card that you play there can't
Because you're not gonna win aggressively in this game. Oh no.
be attacked by any creatures until your next turn. So you sort of have a safe zone where you can play something and your opponent might be able to cast a spell that destroys it or does damage to it.
So 0 cost, 0/3 guard. It's okay. You will see this guy playing a lot of guard cards. It's type of deck for him, for this computer player. CPU. Oh. Yeah.
But none of the creatures in that lane that your opponent can.
And then there is this guy, which had a green arrow, a hive worker, so you can basically be upgraded into hive, other hive creatures that are 3/6 or 6/3 with guard or breakthrough that we saw.
Controls are going to be able to attack it. So you had a little bit.
We have Sunhold Medic, buffs 2 health, pretty useful. You can see here, this guy would trade with this guy and still be alive.
Of time to be able to
Awesome.
put some.
Although this card cannot be played on turn 1, but that's the only downside. It's as good as Hearthstone's Priest card, which is Power Word Shield, except you don't draw a card, but you do play a ping.
Stuff out without worrying about it being destroyed right away. And again, it's the interesting mechanic of, do I want
Now
to play my
we're gonna
creatures over in this
start
lane where maybe it's safe for a little bit, or do I want to get over in this other lane because I want to deal with or
What he could have done, he could have used the potion and summoned a 5-drop. Yeah. A lot of tempo.
interact with what my opponent's doing.
I believe... No, never mind.
And then
You can see the cover. This creature cannot be attacked the turn he was summoned, I believe.
this is
So it comes from the lane effect. And now it's going to be buffed.
a direct damage, direct attack game. So you can see when you go to attack, you have the ability to attack either your opponent's cards, like I have to here because I've got to deal with this guard card that has to be attacked first, or you can deal damage directly to the opponent. And you both.
This card seems overpowered. I'm not sure what can it be upgraded into that would be even more overpowered. We saw 1/5 lethal legendary. Maybe that's the card we're gonna get. Keep in mind it's Argonian. Just keep in mind for the future. I should title the video Argonians like are awesome or something like that.
Start at 30 life, but you notice the little blue runes, the little gems that go around. Those are set every 5 points of health. So every time you take 5 damage.
So yeah, that card over there.
Set every 5 points of health.
It has charge if there's a wounded creature on the lane. It's gonna be misplayed, obviously.
So every time you take 5 damage.
I believe you can just damage this guy and charge into this guy. But what you want to do is kill the dude with lethal first, and trade with this guy. So, yeah, I could explain how to play the game, but
you're gonna break one of those runes, and you're gonna get to draw a card.
Let's just enjoy
the idea
misplays.
is, once again, in a lot of games, one person
That
gets
was a
ahead
misplay,
and they stay ahead, and the other
but
person just has no ability to catch up. You're just sort of getting kicked around, and you're
Could have had
basically almost
charge.
there watching while this other person kills you. When you start doing enough damage to the opponent, they're going to get to draw cards that may allow them to get back into the game. If you're
Prophecy, draw a card. What the fuck is this?
taking a bunch of damage, you're going to start to draw cards that are going to allow you to figure out, how do I get back into this game?
Pack Wolf.
How do I, slow my opponent down? One of the ways that you do that is you'll notice some of these cards have the word prophecy written on.
I would have played it on the other side, so computer player is not that smart. I'm just saying that one. Because it favorably trades with this guy, it trades with these guys, this guy, with these guys, and a wolf with 1 attack, dude.
And what that means is when a card
Alright,
with prophecy
finally we get some value.
is on the top.
And keep that in mind that it's a playable prophecy card. Because it has 3-drop stats. And it does.
Your deck, if a rune gets destroyed, you draw
this.
that card, you get the...
And it gained a lot of value from killing a lethal dude. While it didn't have a lot of health, the creatures were not big, so this guy couldn't do much damage.
Play it
Well
for
played.
free on your opponent's turn. So you're getting to play free creatures, you're getting to play free spells that once again are going to help you get some more stuff on the board to catch up, or maybe deal damage to a thing that lets you get rid of it right away. So
Alright,
it's
the
another
coins,
mechanic.
maybe.
You know, we were talking about different levels of difficulty. The folks who are really good at these things are going to figure out all kinds of interesting ways to play with these and take advantage of them.
Yeah, we will.
Sure.
But folks
Especially with broken cards. Gonna take advantage of those.
don't know what they're doing.
Or maybe you will.
It's almost designed to say,
That's a good card. It gives +1/+2 for every guard creature. So you can see why this guy played a lot of guards.
we're going to help you out
Because, you know, now he's gonna get a lot of value.
as you're
Yeah.
getting beat up or losing life to
Right.
stay in the game and to kind of have a chance to win. And it's one of those things that even, you know, you're at 30 life and she's at...
Now there's no real good way to extract value from this guy. Because there's no way to shatter the rune. He just healed. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That the match isn't over because you have the ability to play a bunch of extra cards you've got
No value, this guy's just gonna die. So sad.
to stabilize. And it's been a lot of fun over in the booth watching folks who are just like, oh, I think I'm dead here. And like,
Again, you have to keep in mind that an experienced player is gonna just do whatever he can do. So yeah,
no,
Expect
like
that.
you're down by 25 life, but you can actually win if you
expect just clicking buttons that shine.
do this and do this in these great swingy games where it's never really over until it's
I'm
over.
not sure it's valuable to attack the guard.
I think
Yeah,
folks have really
that's what I mean.
enjoyed and embraced that concept.
So it's about not getting disheartened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's about you know, the basic mechanics of it. Like I drag a card, I drop it in a lane. If I want to attack something, I
Yeah.
attack it. Like it's pretty easy to sort of grasp and understand.
Alright, this is interesting because when you play this guy, you can give guard to this guy. That's unexpected, right? But yeah,
But then you
That's what
figure out all
happens.
these interactions.
and I have problems with how guard is visualized, and also how small the attack and health values are.
And ways to take advantage of the different decks that you can build.
I
So as you can see, both of them get guard
just gonna
effects.
just interrupt you. I really like that you decided to do a campaign along with this because that's a really
Now, big dudes like this are gonna turn the tables, because, well, it's really hard to remove it. Really hard. Big dudes are really hard to remove. That's all there is in Arena. So you're gonna be playing back and forth for a long time. You can see now it's turn 8, and you would really rather have a lot of cards to curve out really well. Well, not yet, but
going to
Soon.
familiarize the people who've
Very
been
soon.
playing
Sure.
the franchise
what you don't want to do is attack.
for that long.
Obviously.
How long is the campaign? Because let's say I just want to get started and I'm like
sorry,
antsy and I
guys,
just
that
want
you
to
have
go
to
in there.
watch
Is
this.
it lengthy?
It's a couple hours long. Yeah,
Well,
like
okay.
you get a pretty healthy
It
dose
hurts.
of matches to play and
Alright, we see another Argonian, which I said is fucking powerful. But not now. Now it's too late.
all on the way. You're unlocking rewards, and then again you get
Yeah,
some
he
really
didn't got
cool like scenarios
mana.
that get thrown at you. So, for
For that.
example, in one of them, your band of adventurers that
Watch
you're
out, it's gonna
gathering
hurt a
up
lot.
and moving through this campaign with get jumped by the side of the road
See
by a
what I
bunch of
mean.
wolves, and you have this really interesting.
You can still use all your mana, because your opponent decided that he wants to shatter a rune. Cool, cool.
Match where both of the lanes are shadow lanes, so it's like the
But you shouldn't have played it there.
wolves are coming out of the mist, and it's kind of
And I'm not sure if this guy is playing it, obviously. I don't think so.
tough to deal with them. And then one of the things, if you know the Elder Scrolls, which I know you guys do, a big thing for us is player choice, right?
So shackle a creature. Nah. Probably a shitty card. It's like from Hearthstone, you have ability to freeze for 1 mana or deal damage to an already frozen minion from the mage card. So no, it's not useful at all.
Kind of decide who you want to be and how.
Especially when your opponent decided to shackle and then kill the creature. We have some AI problems. We will have some AI problems, and that is going to give us the advantage in the game. Yeah, that's why story modes and all this single player stuff cannot be valued too much, because you're going to see your opponent just being stupid more often than in high level constructed play, or whatever it's going to be called.
You want to play. So at the end of that match, the story continues, and they're talking about after.
We see a weak turn here. You would want a lot of cards to hit the board because your opponent doesn't have a lot of cards, and you could just take back the control of the game real fast. But what's going to happen?
They found a wolf pup, and they asked, "Well, what did you decide to do with the wolf pup?" And a choice pop.
But yeah, it has decent value because it's gonna be traded
and it tells you that you can either choose to kill the wolf pup, and you unlock a certain.
As you can see, the hive upgraded. Cool.
Hard. I know it's horrifying. Nobody wants to kill the wolf pup. Or you can spare the wolf pup and you get a different card to add to your deck. Now, either of those cards you can get in packs or find in other ways.
What did he say? Spare? Oh, that's how you make choices. The thing is, the story mode consists of making choices, and that will determine what kind of cards you get. So he was talking about Argonians, Argonian class. Now he's talking about, I believe, what he means that if you keep or protect your minions, then you're going to keep them into your collection.
Nobody wants to kill the wolf pup. Or you can spare the wolf pup and you get a different card to add to your deck. Now, either of those.
Different card? Okay, it's confusing.
Cards you can get in.
Anyone who can figure out the choices, feel free to do that. All I know, I'm gonna choose Argonians.
Or find in other ways, but as you're playing through, you get to make a choice.
I'll tell you why.
Part of the story about what did you do, and then you're adding that card to your deck.
Yeah, he's talking about how cool the choices are gonna be. Not in the outbalanced state of the game yet, so it's gonna be more interesting in the future, definitely. It will have this replayability, remaking accounts over and over again. I don't know what you can pull it off with that, but it definitely will have at least 2 accounts, that's for sure.
That does, both of them do something very different. Again, allowing the player to kind of decide as they're playing through this campaign.
Now you would think this guy is winning.
What kind of cards are of interest to them?
But look at the cards that your opponent has, and the mana that he can use.
And simple stuff like you notice the avatars for both players. We have avatars for all 10 races in the game, and the avatars in our game don't.
Well, it's a decent one. What you have to keep in mind while playing the game, you have to have a variety of cards. Not because you're forced, but because you can actually counter certain cards. So, for example, this card can actually counter 4 1s or 3 1s or just 1 drops that have 1 health. So you might want to have at least one of those. I don't know. It's a good 2-drop for what it's worth. But, it's easy to kill.
Have powers, we don't do like hero powers, but what they do.
What a buff.
Is based on the race that you pick, you unlock as a.
I mean, why would you play that card, Mr. Computer? You did nothing.
Reward cards.
Nothing, no value. Come on.
That
think.
For your deck.
Okay, this card is not bad. It gives 1 attack. You can trade. You can have 1 attack charge.
Again.
Good. Wait. and it probably can buff itself.
Character.
Right. So
I don't know what happens when you upgrade this card. It probably becomes broken.
like if you pick the Argonian, which I always do, you're
He always picks an Argonian. Keep in mind, I'm gonna go back to this point.
you're more likely to unlock Argonian cards as
Okay.
rewards at certain point, which have a certain play style. Like they
To
fit
the
in certain
face.
kinds of deck. Argonians
Let him
are
draw some
usually
cards.
guys that have like poison.
It's fine, of course, you would have attacked with those guys anyways. Although you don't want to attack here.
And tip things,
Right.
or they are helping ramp you up into more magicka so you can cap.
Yeah, you don't want to have these cards. These just draw. Not only this is a prophecy because it's bad because you play it. Why? No. Okay, it's just a not balanced deck
Yeah.
Bigger things
from the
to happen.
opponent's side, but this card is just garbage.
Like stealthy, sneaky Argonian.
Stealthy, sneaky Argonian. Sounds interesting, huh?
But so and you can change.
Yeah, laugh while you can because you don't know what's coming.
That's a real word.
Yeah, you can buff the same minion. Oh my god. It has potential to be played on turn 1. What the fuck? Oh man, it's so fun. So fun. The battle cries, baby. You don't need to target. You can target afterwards. That's a big twist.
So you can change even your avatar as you're playing if you decide you
That's
want
a
more
huge
to
twist.
unlock more cards of like the Nords or the Red Guards, that you change your avatar and you start unlocking those cards. So it's again another way for folks to.
Whew. Let's just go back, determine who may won the game. He could do 10 damage. Then you deal with this guy. So basically you just healed for 9. You lost a buddy. Again, it depends on what the computer thinks. Maybe he's gonna do something stupid, but yeah. Very cool though. Very cool. Now, why did I say... why did he say that Argonians... that he likes Argonians? Let's look. Let's look back. Remember this card? I mean, it wasn't a long time ago. So, it's an Argonian. Although this is not an Argonian. There's one more broken card, which will define basically what kind of deck you're going to be playing. So, where is it? It's right here. This card that I said is going to be broken. It's green and purple. This is the most powerful archetype at the moment. This guy is an Argonian. This guy is broken because it gives you magicka. And, you know, it buffs itself over time. Very cool. So basically it's kind of ramp and lethal theme. We can explore that in another video maybe. We'll see how good Argonians are. I still kind of want to do a red type of deck once I start. Yeah, I'll need to make a review that figures out what to start with. We still don't know much about that, right? We only know that it's going to be impactful because the choices you're going to make will impact what cards you're going to get. Oh man, we have a lot of stuff to prepare for. So, keep watching, I guess. Keep looking for stuff. See you guys next time.